As we saw today, Dahang is a clutch and a slash master. One of the benefits of playing on Blood Covenant is that clutch is very weak here. So it might be one of the reasons why k1llsen actually chose this map over Blood Run, which I would have expected to pick. So that's quite an interesting point, actually. Maybe showing respect after what you saw Dahang earlier today.
Well, we've had plenty of times for these players to actually study the footage, and get prepared for the future opponents that you're going to be having. And with how much of a grind it was for Dahang when he fought off against Vu, I mean, that really was a grueling match.
Definitely. And k1llsen opening with the Nyx here. When his Nyx is on point, he would be up there with the best Nyxes in the world, but being able to turtle games out, play extremely elusive, but also being able to be exceptionally aggressive with those Ghost Walks as well. And when he's hitting his rails, that's when we're going to see him opening up and really pushing boundaries.
I mean, it's been no mystery that k1llsen's favorite champion in this entire game is Nyx. And it really sort of fits the way he plays. You know, we talked for days about how effective his railgun is. And you can almost favor the rail a little bit more. We'll get to it in a second. Here comes a fight near the heavy. Looks like Dahang has caught him in a really good position, getting respectable damage. k1llsen pulling the trigger on the invisibility a little bit later than normal, trying to get a bit of damage first.
But he's able to pick up virtually all these time shards, meaning it's going to be back up in just a matter of seconds already. And that's one of the massive benefits of also Nyx on Blood Covenants. If you can keep away for just long enough to get off the time shards, Dahang flying out. Good opening frag for k1llsen, nice and clean.
Important to get the slash away from Dahang early too. His movement on slash is absolutely some of the best out there. And on this map, you know, we've seen what that Roller Queen can do. It's pretty insane.
It's good to be off.
That was a cheeky attempt to assassinate with the gauntlet right there. We all heard that.
It is good to get rid of the slash. It's one of the things we saw Vu struggling with earlier.
Trying to go for the net. Oh, even after a very impressive mid-air, Dahang was still able to finish the job because he had the nail gun on hand.
Just about surviving with 5 health after that mid-air, but the nail gun, that was an extremely aggressive play, and this should be enough for k1llsen to push him for a kill if he just needs one more rocket. But yeah, forced away.
Dahang was trying to go in for those rockets. Of course, Anarchy going to be always harder to hit. Collecting a few more rockets on the way, super important, but like I was saying earlier, I think going with the Nyx pick for k1llsen fits his style because of the invisibility in comparison with the rail. Miss a rail and you're able to go invisible to kind of get that insurance policy. And no doubt we'll see that a lot as the series goes on.
Yeah, and k1llsen is the master of using Nyx at range, playing a very good standoff game. And as you say, always reserving that Ghost Walk as a fail clause, if you will, if everything does go tits up.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the best things to cover, obviously, being able to use it in between the cooldowns. Normally, you kind of, you get caught in a bad spot there. There's very little you can do, but I actually really like that from k1llsen, sort of bullying Dahang, forcing him underground for a little bit, but...
And as we see, k1llsen playing excellent across the mid-level, and this makes Nyx particularly vulnerable when she doesn't have that rail. This is why we see Dahang playing very, very slow. He doesn't exactly know where k1llsen is, and is trying to get across to get that rail before he feels safer.
Ooh.
Just misses.
I think k1llsen had the right idea, understanding that if I give him a bit of space, he's probably going to end up going for the rail anyway, and then when he does, that's when I can pick my shot, but wasn't quite able to hit his mark.
Lucky for Dahang. He still had the Ghost Walk, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world. He could have restacked on the lower levels with those slower green armors, but as we talked about at the start, nice and calculated from both players. k1llsen feeling quite happy to run the top level, while Dahang wasn't able to establish himself on the map, but now he has position. This would be, we can see a bit more aggression coming out from the American. But k1llsen going aggressive, forcing him off.
Unfortunately, though, he actually did take a lot of damage in the process, and he tried to sort of bully his way in. Ate a rail for his trouble. Dahang, he's not going to mess around, but actually very confident. He's staying put. Maybe expecting k1llsen to come around, and he actually is following through, but I'm not sure if he's got enough.
No!
Fantastic switch to the rail. Dahang surviving, and it's going to be k1llsen down to his final champion. That was really impressive.
Really aggressive. I did not expect the Nyx to stay around. Somehow, k1llsen just not connecting with those clutch rails, although he's hitting some decent ones throughout the duel. When it really matters, he's not doing it just yet.
It always feels like, even though k1llsen has this amazing accuracy, and that was very nearly a superb mid-air, but like I was saying, k1llsen, even though he's well known for this amazing rail, it has historically taken him a little while to get online. It can take him a few rounds to get going.
Definitely. He has been relatively erratic, and that's something that was in Quake Live as well, that sometimes you might see him hitting 70s, sometimes 30s, and for the moment it is on the lower end as he engages with the rocket. The Ghost Walk is down, so it should be a kill, and it is.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange exchange there. Dahang was probably trying to answer back, but I mean, that's that starting shotgun, especially seeing as, in the latest patch, getting a bit more damage. It's always going to be super favored. Not just in Sacrifice, but in Duel as well, evidently. But to hang down to that Doomslayer.
What I really like is that while Dahang is playing quite standoff, k1llsen's like, nah, I'm just going to go in, and he's trying to force the issue, and it hasn't paid off entirely, but I'm enjoying that pressure that he's putting on Dahang.
Well, we're into sudden death now. Not that that's really going to do much, because of course this is the last champion scenario regardless. k1llsen actually burning his Berserk really early just to try and get back to safety. He wants no part in fighting just yet.
It's a good usage of it. We often see it on the offense, but never let's forget it is a speed boost as well. So you can use it to get away, and that was close to being a kill for Dahang.
The second k1llsen got stuck in that double jump, I was actually really worried for him for a split second, but he was actually able to get that return rail and keeping Dahang at arm's reach. At least for now, but hang on, gets a surprise shot, not a huge amount of damage. I feel like k1llsen actually has a really nice position here. He's got a lot of eyes, able to command that heavy as well, which of course will spawn before Mega, so if he wants to, he might be able to take a fight towards there as well after.
It's one of the benefits of both Nyx and Doomslayer for someone like k1llsen is that you can get across from the two sides of the map so really, really quickly, and that makes utilizing a rail-based game extremely powerful because you can pick those angles and get new angles extraordinarily quickly.
And it's funny that you should say that right as k1llsen gets a fantastic position just to essentially undo all of that Mega progress because of that Doomslayer move and being able to go wherever he wants to go super easily.
It also allows you to pick up the pace and take the initiative. So, and that's something we talked about earlier in the tournament, is that when k1llsen's one of these players that's found a way to make engagements happen in his favor and make sure his opponent dies rather than escaping with 1 HP and restoring his health. Whereas he somehow generally gets out of those situations. It's a remarkable skill that he's managed to develop based on his positioning and ability to transition from aggressive to defensive.
I mean, it's that on-the-spot decision-making, like right there, you know, k1llsen completely ambushed, had to use his Berserk again to get to a safe distance, but hang on a sec, speaking of Berserk, that is likely to be the end. Dahang saving his. And I feel like that actually really came down to the fact that k1llsen used it a couple of times to run away, which unfortunately means when these encounters happen, that's going to be a real ace in the hole. If one Doomslayer's got Berserk and the other one hasn't, that's just a distinct advantage right there.
Yeah, Dahang did a great job of closing the gap between k1llsen and as we know, we've seen throughout this tournament, the trend of this tournament is when a Doomslayer gets in close, he generally gets the kill. Yep,
it's just that combination of so many wonderful things that all work well. I mean, man didn't conquer all of hell by playing fair, do you know what I mean? There's that slash. Now, k1llsen was impressively, and it kind of looks like he's doing it now. All he needs really is one more, and he's in a fantastic spot. But getting rid of that slash at the beginning, I feel like that's going to be a real objective going into this map against Dahang. I mean, how much of a headache is he going to cause without it? Yeah, but as long as k1llsen's got the Ghost Walk, he shouldn't ever be too worried by those slash aggression. It's only when it's down when that becomes a particular problem. But k1llsen is playing again the high ground, making sure that Dahang doesn't want to be around during these rail battles. Dahang again, slowing the pace right down as he likes to stay down at a lower area by the smaller armor. I feel like, of course, if you're going to predominantly be on the high ground and you're all the way down there, that's just going to naturally be a little bit harder to hear the competition too. I think Dahang is actually he's quite slippery so far. He is, but
the positions he's taking means he does get the necessary sound cues and the information to make his decisions. And it might sound obvious, but Dahang's decision-making is very, very information-driven, and that he builds his framework and his strategy around the item timings, and it's something he's done for a long, long time, and it works massively effectively.
Nice shot. He just lined. It's like he knew exactly that he was going to be there at that moment. He lined it up.
That's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. He knew the heavy timing from his positioning down below, and he knew k1llsen traditionally will rocket jump up onto the bridge, and therefore took that aggressive position to pick that angle as he rocket jumped up after taking it.
And it's that kind of like next level on the spot thinking that is why a player like Dahang is at this level of play this far in a tournament such as this.
You can have in your mind when the item's going to spawn, but it's another thing to say, I know what my opponent's going to do with that time. And that's again a perfect example of why Dahang is such an elite level player.
And you're getting someone like k1llsen too. You know, this is not just any old high level player.
No, this is nightmare mode for Quake.
Definitely. Another very sort of calculated round though, no frags. I think this might be, you know, quite right. You pretty much called it right, you know, where you've been seeing k1llsen in his recent success. playing around each individual player separately, which of course most people will go for, but misses the rail. k1llsen forced to back away. Doesn't want to risk getting taken. I mean, the second it gets hit by one rail, it's very easy for Slash to just follow that through.
Yeah.
Like this. He's going to lay that pressure on. One more rail to undo it. Nope. Doesn't quite get the angle there.
k1llsen, as we said, builds his new reform strategy around the sound cues of his opponent and tries to trap them and catch them off guard. But this is what I want to see from him, is taking the initiative and hitting those great shots, because Dahang as a player has a very similar style, and it is a big contrast at the minute in that he's not falling into those traps that other players were earlier in the tournament and the Italian Open as well. So I do think that k1llsen needs to try and take his mechanical advantage and pick up the intensity, and this is why I like it when he's picking up the pace right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he definitely could have taken that frag too near the bridge, but almost like he went for a telefrag. Of course, that wasn't probably the objective. If he got it, fantastic, but he was probably just trying to get the range to get max damage on that rocket, but gets a couple more of those opportunities to catch Dahang off guard as we get further towards the end of this round. If he gets one more good Ghost Walk, there was no way Dahang knew he was reappearing there, which of course is the strength of Nyx, especially in the hands of someone like k1llsen. But look, we have 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. One ambush from this point on and then just try and stay alive for the rest of the round. That's what Nyx is entirely built upon.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where next frag wins. 4 minutes on the clock, meaning 1 minute to go. k1llsen with the drive-by.
This is danger territory. You know, just like that one well-placed rail, forcing someone to retreat and then getting a good read on where they're going to try and run off to, head them off.
Nice and smart by Dahang, not going back up to the mega health. k1llsen was there and waiting. Once he knows it's safe, he might make the maneuver back, which will be now, but k1llsen could be waiting there as well.
And of course, Dahang just had that data that the heavy armor's been taken too. Just took a little bit of a peek around there. Confirmed that it's gone.
Calculated dueling coming out from both guys here. Neither one willing to make a mistake. The only problem is they're playing this range-based game, but even if you hit one or two, how are you going to catch your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, they trade ability for ability. I think Dahang was trying to just give himself as much of a chance of not getting ambushed, you know, as physically possible. Plus the power trail was going to get him towards the heavy quick as well. But of course, we're going into sudden death. This 100% is going to be last champion's going to take it. Dahang with one rail. Can they keep the pressure?
He knows the Ghost Walk is not up now, so this is a big opportunity for Dahang to take the initiative, but k1llsen with the crucial rail keeping Dahang at bay.
I mean, in some ways, that jump pad was a massive risk, of course, knowing that the Ghost Walk is down. And it can be historically so easy, but I actually love the fact that k1llsen was ready to take that shot to deter that.
Doesn't know. Wow, that was fortunate by Dahang. He had no idea that k1llsen had used the Ghost Walk on the cusp of the rocket jump.
Of course, k1llsen making a sequence, trying to get as much of a cooldown reduction as possible. Oh, temporarily stuck in the air, but almost caught Dahang off guard because of that. This is likely to be the fight that ends the round, and it will be just that. k1llsen, it's round 2. I mean, this has been quite a trek already, and this is only round 2.
Slow and steady.
Wins the race.
Indeed, it does.
That was a great moment, actually. It was temporarily airborne, and Dahang actually wasn't looking at him during that point. It gave k1llsen a little bit of like an extra second to pull the trigger just a little bit earlier, but he's going to be happy with that one. Tries to go in for the round. Fortunately, misses it, but the understanding he wasn't really at risk, so he wasn't forced to use the Ghost Walk just yet, saving that for later.
Shouldn't have a problem picking up this Mega and using the Ghost Walk to get away, as long as Dahang doesn't get right, but that another crucial rail, stopping Dahang in his tracks.
On top of getting the Mega first and then doing damage, I mean, like, you know, forcing them back down into the catacomb area where, you know, you're forced to heal up using the small bubbles or the small armor. And if you get one good rail and then a Mega, it will just essentially just make that divide bigger, right?
Definitely, and k1llsen knows, he has the information that Dahang doesn't have a rail, so that's always in his favor. It also means he can freely now get across to that Mega health unchecked.
Just a leisurely stroll. Just waiting a bit first. Yeah, the very deliberate delay on that Mega pickup.
He also should be assuming he now knows 100% that Dahang's has a rail and has to play slightly more carefully. k1llsen himself needs the lightning gun, but it's not something he's been using massively in recent times, even though he is very adept at it. The delay offset as well, something Dahang is not going to be aware of either.
We saw that so much from players, particularly around the Denver times. Players weren't even collecting the LG. You know, that was the time of extreme rocketing, but
It's changed slightly since then, and it is something that can be used more. It is just at the moment situational compared to QuakeCon, where it was the be-all and end-all.
Just one of many pieces of the puzzle now. Especially seeing as players have obviously had a lot of time to adjust to the changes from Denver. I feel like the level of play in general, in the space of 1 month, you'll be surprised what it can do. But Dahang with the defensive plasma trail doesn't get a huge amount. k1llsen with plenty of armor to play with. Dahang in a little bit of trouble, to be honest. Even after that small armor, if he gets caught off guard here.
And this is what I mean, is how do you even catch your opponent? Because they both got great abilities to get away from these fights. k1llsen with the Ghost Walk and the Plasma Trail from the Slash. This is why it's a stalemate, because Dahang's using the assets that Slash brings to be defensive.
You know, that read on the double jump was pretty disgusting right there, where he waited for him to fall down.
Casual.
It's like he just caught sight of him, and he's like, well, he's seen me, so he's going to use the wall jump here, and he just waited for the wall jump. Oh, ouch. Right in the backside. Dahang, I mean, he's going to get lots of speed, but I wonder if k1llsen's going to be able to get much off this. Just collecting a free mega for his trouble, but...
He also used the Ghost Walk to do that, so he needs to now collect the time shot as well. Dahang should be aware of that, because he wouldn't have heard k1llsen getting into position. But irrespective, it's already back up.
Dahang, actually, that's what we saw in the last round, where Dahang actually knew he was going to take that jump from the bridge. Only this time, actually, I think k1llsen was a little bit wise to his plan. Speaking of which, Dahang loses his Slash 3 minutes in.
Really, really nice. And k1llsen's beginning to realize that Dahang doesn't want to commit to any fights, and it's k1llsen that's going to have to take up the pace. And a couple of aggressive Ghost Walks in consecutive time coming out, and that's catching Dahang off guard. This time Dahang has to force the Ghost Walk. k1llsen, knowing what's going on, is forced to fight.
And that's suicide. It's going to be in the favor of k1llsen, you know, the fact that if they have that trade-off and you've both got a situation where one person has more champions, that trade's not necessarily a good trade. One of those guys, Dahang, unfortunately, on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, and a minute and a half to go as well. Doomslayer on Doomslayer.
Dahang is nicely stacked, but k1llsen having that rail. At the end of the day, if he gets a couple of good shots, but I've got to say, really nice aiming from Dahang. Like, k1llsen is in a lot of trouble here, actually. There comes the Berserk. Cannot take a single punch, but when it homes in, Dahang not wanting to commit.
Just misreading, trying to catch k1llsen as he falls down.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That was super clean. Knocked straight into the air there. The second he was airborne, not really able to do much about it. That's where k1llsen, those kind of airborne rails, with someone like k1llsen, it's unlikely he's going to miss a shot like that.
You'd think. It happens from time to time.
Anything is possible, I suppose. But
He is human.
like the rest of us. There we go. 2 rounds on the board for k1llsen. This has been a very, very slow-paced Blood Covenant, but with the matchups like we're seeing here, not just champion matchup, but of course player matchups, you can't be surprised.
Slow, but this is some good dueling coming out. Nice and calculated play.
Yep.
And we're beginning to see a bit more aggression coming out from both sides now.
Fantastic rocket placement, and Dahang actually committing suicide. Probably sticking around a little bit too long right there. Now this is the moment. k1llsen once again controlling the high ground of the map. I mean, if you look at k1llsen, he's always got a rail. Like almost at all points, it's like the number 1 objective is get that rail, start being a bully.
Yeah, the rail and rockets, and they're very defensible on this map as well. So getting 50% of them so far, still needs the rail. Also pushing aggressively.
Out of rockets, I'm not actually sure he was aware of that, because he had the rocket launcher out and was forced to switch. It gave Dahang enough time to do something about it, get a little bit of damage on the table.
And a good fadeaway rocket, meaning it makes the rocket jump up to rail risky if that's what Dahang wanted to do.
Well, speaking of rockets being run out, Dahang only has 1 left as well, so he's got to be super careful up close. Quickly undone. k1llsen wasn't really at the right place there to do much about the rocket pickup, but caught Dahang in a precarious position, forcing the Ghost Walk. Can k1llsen chase this down? You've got to make such a hard read sometimes. Where is the Nyx likely to reappear? Do you even take the fight? You know, do you take the fact that this Nyx is clearly going to run away? So do I try and light him?
But one of the fortunate things, obviously, is that k1llsen is on Nyx as well, and he did pop the Ghost Walk, just not catching Dahang in range and missing his opportunity to trace that fading Nyx into the light of dusk.
Oh, here's the trap.
Oh.
Fell for it for maybe a split second, but got 1 shot off anyway. Dahang, 6 HP. Could have been absolute disaster.
Yeah, I don't think Dahang can afford to lose the next frag. Oh,
wow.
Nice read.
Okay, hello. Hey, k1llsen. That's a really good drop, a crucial drop.
It is a crucial drop, and Dahang is now in a very difficult situation. He's got Doom Guy left, who has to do everything for him against k1llsen's Nyx.
And even if k1llsen loses the Nyx, of course, being 2 champions down, you've got to take out 2 in basically half the round time. Otherwise, that's it. You're going to be out of the round for timeout, and that's going to be a map, you know, a really, really important map for k1llsen.
And it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if k1llsen went full turtle mode right now and decides not to commit for absolutely anything. Instead, just picking Dahang apart with his rail, which now seems to be warming up.
Keeping someone like Doomslayer at bay, of course, it's going to naturally be very important to make sure that his stack is never able to compete with yours.
Nice.
But Dahang is going to be more than aware of how much damage he's done. Oh, one more shot. Be very surprised if Dahang doesn't try and get something off this. Unfortunately, you know, he's going to be a little bit weak himself. Wait a minute!
Nice!
Wait a minute! k1llsen with the Ghost Walk and the perfect... Look at that grin. I think he's going to be more than happy
sure
for that.
he's happy.
That was, I think Dahang probably not so happy about that one.
I don't know what k1llsen was thinking, but whatever, it paid off.
That's the kind of thing, it was just, you know, maybe we'll ambush him, you know, we'll reappear, we'll get a rocket. He's going to be super weak, so if I reappear and get maybe a gauntlet out there for the damage or up-close rocket, he's probably going to die from that. Or, hang on a minute, no, I just got a telefrag. So that's it, the round's done.
I think he just wanted to prove me wrong. I'm not going to go full turtle, I'm just going to show no respect to my opponent. I'm going to go in with 3 health, see who cares.
I mean, if anything, that also sends quite a message, doesn't it? You know, this late on in the tournament, a frag like that, ending the round, I mean, that's quite an exclamation point to put on the end of a map saying, you know, I just confidently took this over.
I think that's it. It's a sign of confidence in that. And you saw the chuckle as well. I think no matter what happened, it's almost saying, I was going to win this round because I can, and it's because I feel on top. So he's feeling confident, which means it bodes well going into map 2. I would love to see a corrupted keep or a blood run with a clutch, though. I think k1llsen can deal with it. He has the mechanical skill to work around it and it's hit even more rails and lightning gun than Vu did. But I still loved to see the Dahang clutch come out.
I think we are, to be honest with you, we're likely to see that. Particularly, Corrupted Keep very well could be the map that we're going to see. Because Blood Run, k1llsen on Blood Run, you know, those that tuned into DreamHack Denver, some of k1llsen's absolute finest moments came from that map. Because, of course, it ticks all the boxes that k1llsen likes to go for, you know, where it's all about the way he positions himself and how slow he can play. And there we go, Corrupted Keep, you know, the very obvious thing of taking the rail away from k1llsen, of course. But mainly, I mean, Dahang showed an absolute unfathomable level of dominance when he went clutch on Corrupted Keep. Now, I wonder if he's going to go with clutch on this, and you would think it's likely, but
leaving
we'll
it
see.
to last if he is. I hope he is. Come on, yeah, the big man's out.
I mean, this is what we're all waiting for, and it's, you know, it's not even like, it's not a gimmick. It's not this. It's not just Dahang's thing. Like, he has such fundamental skill with this champion. It's not easy to play clutch at the highest level because one small mistake and you're in a world of hurt because he's got a massive hitbox. He's the easiest champion in the game to shoot. If he has no shield, he's super vulnerable and has very limited options. And on a map like this, if it goes wrong, you're only going to last so long before that's it. You know, clutch is down and that's it. You may have wasted the map. But Dahang just hasn't really been making many mistakes, if any, with clutch today.
He hasn't. And Vu obviously struggled absolutely against this earlier. I don't think he killed the clutch once on this map. Dahang was a beast with it, and it's something Cooler brought out earlier in the tournaments earlier in the year. And the people who can play it well, as you say, they have a massive advantage in their hands because they have this champion with a massive stack that has invulnerability effectively and can move across the map like lightning. But it does have a number of key weaknesses, and it requires incredible composure to play around your opponent when that ability isn't up, because yes, you have a big stack, but as you said, you're going to get destroyed. And one of the reasons why it's particularly good on this map is because there is no round, and then there are quite a few time shots as well, so it is probably Clutch's home ground.
I mean, Clutch likes being up close and personal, and it does not get any more than that in Corrupted Keep. This is going to be potentially our final map, Dahang versus k1llsen. k1llsen currently up one map, but I really feel like this Clutch, you know, this could be a trump card.
And one of the keys to beating Clutch is to make sure you're always trying to battle him when he doesn't have an advantage on you.
What did that pot ever do to you? Wow.
There's got law somewhere.
Yeah, law found.
Gotta get your law, even in the quarterfinals of DreamHack.
Now there's that heavy. This champion just became infinitely more scary. And here we go, super shotgun. It's going to be all he needs. But I love the patience from k1llsen. He's going to wait for the crack of the armor to appear. But there we go, pulls the trigger. And one rocket is all this big boy needs.
It was great. Great patience from both players, in fact. And k1llsen recognizing his fate, that he's not going to outrun the robot, trying to battle him instead.
I mean, k1llsen had a level of understanding, you know, he's almost like waiting for the shot to take place so he could get that free hit. Because, of course, you know, Clutch, I'm actually not sure if he's going to win this exchange. Clutch has a lot of stack. He's trying to follow through with Doomslayer, opts to back out at the last possible second. But I actually quite like that idea, because one of Clutch's weaknesses is, on a map like this, where you're likely to see him a lot, it's kind of hard for him to restack back up.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you can chase him quite effectively. If he's almost dead, I mean, fortunately, Dahang was just surrounded in health bubbles there, but quite a common weakness is it's easy to chase him.
It's pivotal when he is restacking to try and keep chipping away at him. Not only so you offset his ability to pressure you in the longer run, but also you want to try and make him panic so he forces out that ability shield. So again, it offsets his time going forward, and also means k1llsen pushing in with the Berserk. I don't think it can go through the shield, though. It can.
Oh, I mean, I think he just got up close and personal enough, but Dahang got a couple of good rockets, finishes the job with a lovely switch to the LG, and of course, that's another one of those weaknesses Clutch will have, where it's nigh impossible to miss this champion up close with the LG, because he has, in fact, you know, he's got one of those big old hitboxes, and here comes another Berserk mode, and they get the trade. To be honest, you know, if k1llsen's going to die anyway, take him out with him. Yeah,
I mean, he was in a situation where it was do or die, and he did and died. So it worked out as best as it was going to.
Do and die. Oh, invisibility's popped, but k1llsen, he's not really very strong, so chasing this is going to be kind of risky. But Dahang with the nail isn't massively equipped to take this fight.
Whoa.
Oh, there you go. Say goodbye to your mega.
k1llsen really wants to pick up the pace, but that is a dangerous jump pad to go up.
Yes, one of the more painful ones to get caught on. Unfortunately, I mean, on the brink of death right there, even after that health bubble. Dahang, I think himself understands that he's quite weak, so chasing it with 62 HP, one good defensive rocket will just turn the tide, but k1llsen again super weak, but there's the change to the LG. The tables have turned, and I mean, this is why the LG is still effective, right?
That
Just
was
finish him
the
off.
corridor of nails that k1llsen decided to walk into there. Nice play coming out from Dahang, doing an excellent spam. Nice, look at that, 3, 4, 5.
I actually quite liked the placement too. It wasn't also just a matter of him shooting the nails at k1llsen. It was shooting it towards the doorway, because that's pretty much k1llsen's only chance to escape. He has no choice but to go that way, so he's going to get hit by a couple.
Yeah, it's actually a difficult thing to do, but basic projectile spam can be severely damaging.
Especially if
nice rockets. And he's got the chase with the shield, obviously knowing where k1llsen's going, and should be able to clean it up.
I mean, really, there wasn't much k1llsen could do there. I mean, it's since the dawn of time, Clutch has, for some reason, been able to see an invisible Nick. Of course, it will be by design, but it's just a really interesting tool that he has. That it's like a direct counter to Nyx.
And you can see here what k1llsen's strategy is. It's like, as soon as I know your shield isn't up, I'm gonna run at you. But Clutch is so incredibly stacked that it's very difficult to do, and I think k1llsen needs to sit back and rethink the way he's approaching this Clutch.
I mean, the reality is he's just being simply too aggressive. If you're going to be going in for Berserk and you're going to try and go for the lock-on against someone like Clutch, you know, Dahang's going to be going in for his dash backwards, so he's almost going to be dashing at the same speed Doomslayer's going to doomslayer's
Exactly.
And Doomslayer's stuck in a straight line. If he's stuck in a straight line, that's going to be direct city.
Exactly. I mean, this is one of the more difficult maps to actually jig around on, because of the nature of how enclosed it is, but still, if you get a slightly open area, the Doomslayer's not going to catch you.
k1llsen, he's going to have to seriously reassess. I mean, even if he doesn't win this round is going to be just data. How does Dahang move around this map? What are my answers when the fight takes place? He's going to have to think about that going into his other champions, because even Anarchy versus Clutch is not the most favorable of matchups. If you walk around a corner, much like what could happen here, and Anarchy sees Clutch head on. With a stack like this, Anarchy just simply can't survive.
And the key is to try and stay in the open areas as much as you can and utilize your speed advantage to do drive-bys. So stay at range, try and pick him off with the machine gun, with the nail gun. And when you get into those mid-range fights, as soon as he starts to progress on you, you just need to have to retreat. Because there's no way, as you say, you can match up in these close encounters with the Clutch. Even if he doesn't have the shield, because you're so squishy with the Anarchy. So it is all about continuous chip damage until it gets to a point where the Clutch has to retreat, and then you try and follow him in. but not overcommit. So it's a delicate balance you have to reach, and this is why we can see the clutch being so powerful.
I mean, although this has been a highly aggressive round coming out from Dahang, when he smells blood and feels like he can take a frag, he'll obviously chase it down, but it comes back to the classic, why would Dahang overextend by any degrees? k1llsen's the one that needs to make something happen. Just save the shield, use it defensively if need be. If the kill's guaranteed, he's been doing a fine job of harassing and bullying k1llsen without even needing the shield.
Exactly.
Which is, of course, the most dangerous part of this champion's toolset. And
you can see now Dahang's got a good advantage. All he is doing is staying in these areas where he can possibly trap k1llsen. He doesn't want to be exposed by, and as we get into any mid-range fights, because he's not going to win those. For him, the key is trying to stay as hidden as possible, and if k1llsen comes around the corner, then happy days. If not, he'll wait until the time is ready.
Oh, fresh off the Mega, but another Mega is going to be spawning soon. I think he's been keeping a close eye on k1llsen, trying to do everything he can to keep him away from either of those two major pickups. And keep him away from the Heavy, keep him away from the Mega. Maybe take a fight there. They're both close quarters. Yeah, trying to head him off towards the Heavy, but actually feels like k1llsen may have deliberately wanted Dahang to go towards the Heavy, taking the Mega instead, because he actually kind of took that very deliberate path in their rocket. The second Dahang flew down there, k1llsen pretty much doubled back and grabbed the Mega.
Yeah. But k1llsen's in a difficult situation. He hasn't even got close to killing Clutch, and he's got only just over a minute remaining. Dahang's more than happy to wait it out if that's what's going to happen.
I mean, he's not even put a mark in this armor, has he? Like, this Clutch has been standing strong from start to finish, and we're almost at the end of this round. We're 10 seconds away from this 1 minute warning, and k1llsen has been able to do nothing. And
great rockets.
The second he comes out, that happens. Like, what do you do?
And he's just got out, managed to steal the heavy armor away, but who cares? Look at Clutch, he's got nearly 300 health and armor combined.
k1llsen's going to do everything he can to stay super mobile while dodging to his best of his abilities, waits for the injection to be popped, but now that hurt.
Retreat back to get the time shards. They are the priority above anything else at the moment.
He's out of rockets. I'm willing to call that one a wrap. He's going to try and chase it down, but realistically, what has Dahang got to gain from even pushing this? Let's just keep the lead, and oh, there you go. Round the corner, and that's going to be one dead Anarchy. Dahang playing this absolutely masterfully so far.
Yeah, he's doing a really great job. k1llsen, as we said, I think he definitely needs to rethink his strategy. You can see here, he's like, okay, I'm going in, boys. It's just not working.
It almost seemed like he just wanted to see if it would work. That almost seemed like it was such an obvious direction of, I'm going to pop Berserk, fresh off the spawn, and I'm just going to try and kill him as fast as possible. This clearly didn't work out, so I don't think he'll try it again. This
is the best opportunity off the spawn that he's had, because the Clutch doesn't have the rocket, and that's the only thing that Clutch cares about, really, is that rocket launcher. So k1llsen needs to take particular care, and you can see here him trying to push out and make Clutch pops that shield. As soon as he does, he backs off. Good. He still doesn't have a rocket. Next step, protect the rocket. And now, when you are comfortable with your health and armor, you know that the Clutch doesn't have it for about another 20 seconds, so you have some time to pick him off.
The Mega Health's naturally going to help that. I mean, the worst thing Dahang is going to do, realistically, is just grab those little health bubbles to put himself back up to a default stack.
Really nice.
k1llsen, aggressive, up behind, takes him by surprise. He needs to seize the deal, and he does! Perfectly executed. Your shield is down. That is my time to strike.
It did require getting the preferable spawn, but k1llsen played that to absolute perfection, and now he's got a lifeline in this match as the Clutch is out of the equation for the first time this tournament that we've seen Dahang.
I mean, it definitely shows that k1llsen, he's got the knowledge here. It's not like he's being caught by something he doesn't understand. Clearly, he knows full well what he needs to do, and there's another frag on Dahang. I feel like this could be foreshadowing. If he gets another one of those good spawns, or if he catches Clutch without it, that is k1llsen's opportunity to make something happen.
Yeah, it's really great play. The only thing is he has to finish off this round. Yes, he's got 3 champions, but it is a Doom.
Oh, yeah.
So the job isn't done. It was just the Clutch we were raving about.
It's hard not to, I suppose, when he's been putting on such a display, but this is the meta of Doomslayer. And speaking of which, punched in the backside. Ouch. But the instant change, k1llsen's basically fighting fire with fire here. He's gone for the Doomslayer of his own. He's going to now have that knowledge. He's going to have Berserk, and Dahang isn't, and he's going to try and use that to advantage. And there we go, Superman in the air. And there you go.
Mike Tyson would enjoy that.
Mike, I mean, like, it's quite a unique factor of, if you've been taken out as Doom and you go Doom, you've got Berserk. That's a humongous tool to have access to, but
let's hope he gets the same spawn.
Yeah. He does. Okay.
He does.
It's party time.
It is. We might see the exact same play because the priority has to be to protect that rocket launcher, and Dahang's going to have to pop it. He gets the rocket launcher, but he's still in trouble.
But this is going to be good for k1llsen. The shield, it's still going to be up, so of course Dahang will still be able to see k1llsen there, but I mean, he has got the rocket launcher, though, so it's automatically going to be a little bit more difficult than it was in the previous round. However, the shield is down.
The really great thing for me in that play is we can see Dahang's reaction. Previously, he played it a lot slower when he got the bad spawn, but this time he's like, I'm just going to go in and get that rocket launcher at all costs, even if I have to use my shield. It was just a great adaptation to see. All it took was one round for him to realize how he needed to play that.
I mean, this level of play, right, Dahang, one of the best in the world. And, you know, some of these players, there's the answer. k1llsen tries to reappear, but all eyes on him. Wasn't really able to get a huge amount, but it's like you said, Dahang, it took him a round to go. There was a very clear difference in what happened here, so I need to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Exactly, and it just shows how quickly he was able to adapt. So, and again, just exemplifying the caliber that is Dahang, his ability to recognize that situation so quickly.
It does mean k1llsen's in a spot of bother, because at the end of the day, there's no getting around the fact that he took that clutch out because there was no rocket, and it was pretty much the best case scenario for dealing with something like this. This round, it's non-existent. You know, he's got the shield ready now, he's got the rocket launcher, just like the previous rounds. Now he has to take it out the hard way.
But he's doing a better job this time, not going as aggressive and trying to play those mid-range battles. Would like to see more of the heavy machine gun, because that's a great weapon against clutch.
I mean, you know, ask and you shall receive. He instantly switched it, but he's actually done a very respectable amount of chip damage. It's forced Dahang to go straight forward and try and take the fight. In fact, he's hurting bad after that encounter.
Exactly, and it's something I think k1llsen will know now. I need to use a bit more of.
Straight back to it. You know, I feel like if he's able to take this round, I'd be surprised if we don't see more of the heavy machine gun picked in what would be the final round.
And even though the shield is still up, as we said before, it's going to take clutch an eternity to get back up to any sort of fighting stack. And so this is the time that k1llsen, he could even use an aggressive ghost walk, because once he gets in, it could be too late for the clutch to actually use the shield in time.
I mean, at this health, one well-placed rocket puts clutch in a horrendous situation. He's really weak, but Dahang still standing true. He is not going to pull the trigger on the shield just yet.
Still sticking with that heavy machine gun. Nice.
Or maybe
rockets.
now. No chance. Not even the chance to activate.
And k1llsen this time recognizing he needs to play slightly more passive. Following aggressive here, he knows there's no real weapons for Dahang to work with. He has to be careful, because that shotgun can be erratic and might just blow his head off.
Even in this encounter, you know, you would think Dahang's in the bad spot, but k1llsen with a super shotgun of his own. I gotta say, that was a beautiful on-the-spot adaptation. That heavy machine gun clearly was the answer, doing damage at range, and you got to respect Dahang just standing true and not popping the shield. He understood how important it was, but he was almost a little bit too greedy on it, but wow, nice.
Not bad, and that was also the Berserk pop to get out of there alive, meaning the Doom is now half the man he normally is.
And this is the time to attack for k1llsen. Acknowledging that the Berserk being down is a massive advantage. Now he can make something happen. Back to the heavy machine gun to just do as much damage as possible. Keep Dahang behind. And for another time, because of this very clear champion advantage, k1llsen can now play this defensive game.
Yeah, it's maximal effectiveness, that weapon switching. Even if you only get 1 or 2 ticks off, that's 20 damage. And you do that 2 or 3 times, suddenly 60 damage. You've mitigated half one of the heavy items. It's a big impact it can have.
But we are looming on that 1-minute warning. And everyone knows what will happen when we hit 5 minutes. Oh, tries to go for there. That felt like it should have hit.
It really did. Dangerous to stick around.
Definitely. Going for the defensive rocket. Dahang actually not chasing him down.
Oh!
Wow! Here comes k1llsen.
How did he do that?
He's
I
feeling
don't
it.
know how k1llsen got out of there. That really could have been and should have been probably Dahang's frag.
This gentleman is pumped. You can see it. You can see how ready he is. He can taste the next stage of this tournament.
It's almost a double stage challenge, because once the clutch comes back into play, that restarts all over again. Yes, he's done a great job in the previous 2 rounds, but we've seen that Dahang's clutch is no joke.
Absolutely. I mean, Dahang is the clutch master. I know we've seen so consistently that this is his champion. Of course, we have players such as Dewey, of course, also bringing clutch to this level of play, but Dahang in this tournament, it just looks like he's untouchable in some cases, but k1llsen looks like he has the answer for it.
But you see how it swings both ways, and nice patience coming out. Nice patience coming out. Could have cost him, but
the shield, of course, k1llsen was going to reappear after the shield had disappeared, so Dahang was only going to get knowledge on his location for so long before it disappears.
Yeah. He's stuck on the wall.
Oh, looking for a rocket, unable to hit his mark. Nix with that small hitbox.
massively, massively fortunate k1llsen doesn't have a lightning gun there, because that would have been certain death for the big man.
Yeah, I don't think k1llsen was going to mess around with a rocket if he had anything else that would have done a bit more consistent damage, especially if he's missing those counter rockets towards Nyx as well. That was all uncontested LG.
Yeah, and we've already seen in this duel alone the fact is why some people just don't pick clutch, because there is a pendulum in how effective that champion can be, and he's gone from massively effective to doing virtually nothing in a matter of rounds.
But of course, when one adaptation is made, it turns on the other player to do something about it, and Dahang, he's doing what he can, but he got knocked into the pillar again.
He's too fat, he keeps getting stuck.
I know, come on, man. That's not fair.
It's just fact of life.
Going towards the rocket, caught off.
Needs to shop at Giacomo.
Yeah, hit the treadmill, my robotic friend, but k1llsen, I feel like he doesn't want to overextend too much, right? You know, where he understood, maybe I could take this fight, but he only had 60 health, so that's an accident waiting to happen.
He is restacking nicely though, and a couple of more of these smaller armors, and k1llsen needs to really beware.
Actually, he doesn't really feel like k1llsen's taken too much rocket damage. You know, tons of rockets have come through for Dahang, but I feel like k1llsen, he's really being careful. You know, it's like if I'm at an angle of which I'm risking hit by a rocket, I'm probably not going to stand there.
Yeah, but now we see Clutch is back up to fighting Stein. And the adaptation has been made by Dahang this time. He's gone well back into his shell, turtling once again, and just playing around this rocket launcher, playing nice and...
Ouch, and yeah
that's
popping a
painful,
ghost walk. This could be a kill.
The rocket jump up. Nice play by Dahang. Can he finish him off?
Oh, I'm not quite sure what the gauntlet is about. He actually has given k1llsen that extra time he needed to escape.
Yeah, I think he was trying to use the shield's ability.
Oh, maybe.
Which was obviously that super strong laser.
And the beam would have finished the job,
yeah,
with k1llsen being that weak, of course. Good spot.
So don't think he's a dummy.
Of course.
There was reasoning behind it.
Well, you never know in this situation. Sometimes you might fat finger a weapon key.
Or that.
Many variables. Either way, Dahang.
He's stuck though.
He's got the shield, but he's not really got a stack he's happy with, I don't think.
Is he really going to chase? And k1llsen doing a nice job to force out again, but this time he's in a lot of trouble. k1llsen really could chase, especially if he wants to pop the machine gun again at this medium range and do a few more tick damage.
And yeah, this is danger territory for Dahang. There is no shield that's down for about 15 seconds. That's more than enough time for k1llsen to do the damage he needs. But is he going to be more content just maintaining the stack over? You know, don't allow Dahang to get the Mega or the Heavy. It'll take Clutch so much longer to restack up in that case.
He's doing a great job at just clipping, making sure that Dahang is continually low. Very long to stack up.
Trying to just go for those. If he's trying to take one of those rocket shots, I actually quite like the idea that he's going for his air dodge instead. So the chance of him being hit by a wayward rocket is going to be so much shorter if he's moving that fast. But not able to land any significant hits just yet.
Quite a key rocket by Dahang there, just knocking k1llsen off his stride, doing a bit of damage. But as you can see, Dahang is wary of k1llsen, keeping well away from the major items, and he's caught. k1llsen can pop the Ghost Walk and follow him now.
I quite like the patience. You know, it used to be Nyx would pop the invisibility first, and the answer to retaliate to that was the shield. But on the flip side, k1llsen, if he knows he's going to reappear when the shield is down, and it's a higher chance of him just going somewhere undetected, k1llsen's waiting. It's
a game of chicken. The person who pops it second has the advantage, and so you want to pop it as late as possible. So it's whoever gets that initial damage and can make that first movement that generally comes off top.
But it's a fairly safe bet that this is going to be one final champion to decide who's going to win this map. And it's quite fitting, really, you know, k1llsen and his Nyx, Dahang and his Clutch. So it's quite a way to end the map. But both masters of their champions.
Dahang's done an excellent job now to get back. Nice rocket, though, mitigating most of that pickup, if not all of it.
Dahang did take a lot of damage, and he still hasn't popped the shield, of course. I think he's confident that he has still enough stack to survive. As he tries to run away, he'll get a little bit more, but k1llsen's waiting. There's the invisibility. He knows he's there temporarily, but it's going to be down. k1llsen tries to get a reappearing surprise rocket, going in with the LG, but it's one. Forced to back away temporarily. This is super tense. 30 seconds into the sudden death, and so much has happened already.
Yeah, and the fact that nobody has died is testament to how well both of these players are playing.
It looks like Dahang not 100% sure about the location of k1llsen, firing a lot of those sort of just check rockets around the corners. He's going to get a little bit of data now. They're so close, of course. Oh, wow, that could be it. That could be it. He's chasing it down. k1llsen using his invisibility, but he is so unbelievably weak. He turned around at the last minute. Oh, my days. He's alive, but for how long? Look at the health difference.
Somehow, k1llsen escapes to see another day, at least for now. Dahang has picked up the health bubble, the time shot, should I say, which means he does have that shield up well before the Ghost Walk, and he will know it.
Yeah, and he's going to use it, I think. He sees the rocket, he pops it. This is his moment, he goes in for the kill. k1llsen is in so much trouble, stuck between a rock and a hard place. There was no escape from that encounter, and it's going to be Dahang. Without, I mean, he had to fight for it, but he does get the map on the board.
He really does. It was exceptional play from both players as we saw that back and forth. The clutch overpowering k1llsen for the first 2 rounds. k1llsen making that adjustment, getting the luckier spawns, but somehow keeping in the game. And then it was just one mistake in that perfect game at the end. When that last play, k1llsen saw that piece of damage and decided to stick around. He got a little bit greedy. A tiny bit greedy. He thought, I can do a bit more damage, underestimating how many of the time bubbles Dahang had picked up, and that cost him at the end of the day.
You know, I really feel like
here,
this was the defining moment. You know, you look at the difference.
Right there.
At this point when he was dead, he was still 15 seconds away from having his invisibility ready. Dahang understood this kill is guaranteed. The second he got pushed towards the corner, there was nowhere to run. There was no way on this earth Dahang was going to drop.
As you saw in that last clip, k1llsen fired a rocket, it hit Dahang, and then he stuck around to fire one more rocket. That was what caused him. As soon as he sees that damage, he knows Dahang is there, he just needs to get out. He was too weak to do anything. He had no Ghost Walk up. He's just a little bit greedy, and it was the slightest misstep in what was an elite level game.
Now, I feel like, you know, you said it right there, elite level game. I feel like it's that map was a testimony to how well k1llsen and Dahang have both been able to get on with Quake champions. You know, this element of, you know, you can play Quake, of course, but the champions add that extra flair, and there are legit matchups that you need to deal with. You know, some players are now starting to favor certain champions. Of course, Dahang with Clutch is one of them. And, you know, this is... there are certain elements in this matchup that you need to work around. And clearly, k1llsen was caught off guard for those first couple of rounds, and he was trying out these different things. None of it was working. Dahang was playing perfectly, and then the instant adaptations were made. But then that final round, Dahang, you know, it's the next level on the next level on the next level. But Blood Run, we do see Clutch picked for a second time.
It also shows that it's like, it's one of those games that your style is almost built around the community that you were built and bred in. And in Europe, the Clutch has died a death, whereas in the US...
This is really surprising, to be honest, because, I mean, you know, even players like Agent, for example, and k1llsen, you know, when Clutch was... he was definitely powerful, really powerful during the QWC days, but the second he got adjusted, I mean, he just disappeared from the game, basically.
I mean, even in Italy, in the Italian Open, we saw k1llsen using the Clutch virtually every single match, and it was really, really effective. I think then, since players made the adjustment with the recent changes and the lightning gun became more prevalent, people instantly think, oh, it's not going to be good anymore. But Dahang has showed if you can play that super patient game and you are aware of the limitations of what your champion can do, it remains a very, very powerful champion. But if your opponent is playing equally well, it almost nullifies the effectiveness, and it just boils down to who is dueling better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we saw in the previous game. And the abilities in themselves didn't really win the game for anyone. It was just who played the better duel, because they were just playing very calculated game amongst one another.
It was awareness, and you said that final mistake was being greedy with one extra rocket. Regardless of what champion that was, with any abilities, that encounter was going to take place. But this will be our final map between Dahang and k1llsen. The USA versus Germany. This has been a slobber knocker of a duel.
Slobber knocker?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite words, but I feel like...
What is a slobber knocker, may I ask?
I don't know, but I hear it a lot in wrestling. I thought it sounded cool on an emulator. But either way, Clutch First versus Nyx. It's a different map, but it's the same matchup.
Okay. I'm going to have a slobber knocker of a game.
Shouts to Jim
I'm
Ross.
going to use that game, that word.
There's Jim Ross, man. He's like one of the most legendary commentators of all time.
Anyway, we got the Clutch to start and the Nyx. So we have had the same matchup that we saw for the previous 15, 20 minutes, and already the shield comes out. But the fat boy gets stuck on the wall, meaning there is plenty of time for Nyx to get away. Will he get a...
Oh. He had the gauntlet out just in case. This is likely to go skew if. Tries to get a couple of rockets.
He switches. Does he run out of ammo? I didn't see.
I believe he ran out of rockets there, yeah. I definitely think he ran out of rockets. He was forced to switch.
But even still, Clutch...
Whoa. Right. Okay. So k1llsen lost Anarchy just then.
He did. And now we're down to Doom already, within a minute.
And it actually sounded like he went for some sort of really weird... Because we heard the gauntlet being revved.
Yeah.
There. Like, that was a very odd decision, but hopefully he doesn't live to regret it. I mean, this is elimination map, right?
It is.
This is where things start to add up.
Oh, look at that damage. A few nail gun clicks and a rail, and Clutch fly through to the other void, the upside down.
Dahang, yeah. He
Nice
knew
read,
that rail
yeah.
was lined up.
And he pushes in, expecting to kill him there. Otherwise, he could have probably pushed in earlier. Look at the damage from the nail gun. Nail gun and the machine gun does so much damage to this big, chunky champion.
Now, unfortunately, Dahang, missing that rail, allowing k1llsen to survive. That would have been the round for sure if that rail connected. But, things like, in a map like this, that's one thing Clutch will obviously face, is that those defensive nails, they get shot through certain corridors and hallways. There really isn't much chance his wide hitbox is able to really dodge much of that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, many people think that Clutch is only good in maps without a rail, because obviously the size of Clutch and you can hit him so easy, but as...
Oh, what a masterfully played shield. That shield may as well have picked up the rocket and grabbed it. It appeared on it, and k1llsen just gets caught out. Going in for the berserk, but you can't really punch a shield, yeah.
Patience coming out from Dahang and getting the kill in the end, doesn't look phased. But as Dahang has been showing us, it's very good on this map in particular because it has lots of close corridors, perfect 100, lots of corridors where it can take those aggressive positions with the shield up, and lots of great defensive positions to avoid rail fights. And that's the key, is yes, you're extremely vulnerable when you're out in the open, but you can avoid them if you play smart enough and force your opponent to only engage you in these close corridors where you feel at home.
Ooh, Dahang a bit itchy on the trigger finger with that rocket. Actually did catch k1llsen off guard. Probably would have got an unchallenged rocket if he fired a little bit later, but...
k1llsen's waiting, he's going to get a lot of damage here.
I really quite like that decision for k1llsen. Is he going to chase it down? He is! But not quite.
He's already ghost walked. How did Dahang get away? Nice trap by k1llsen, just not enough.
It was quite an on-the-spot decision to essentially fall in a trap and then instantly lay the trap yourself. And
there we go. We do see the weakness. Is that you are super vulnerable to rail.
And I think we're going to see that quite a lot. But of course, Dahang is going to be aware of that. Blood run with k1llsen and his rail skill.
Really nice.
Something to expect. And
you get the spawn frag. Nice. Oh, just misses the rail. Dahang deciding not to delay his spawn there.
Yeah, if Dahang didn't get fragged, at the very least, he's currently behind. So there will be little victories there regardless. But I've got to say, Blood Run and k1llsen, this is a lethal combination.
It really is. This is his home map. Played it probably more than anyone else.
We've just seen some unbelievable plays from k1llsen on this map. And it's almost always been rail related. Of course, I don't want to jinx it because he did miss those two rails forced to retreat.
Dahang decides to back off at the very last second as k1llsen is able to get those bubbles. But a nice full rocket.
Yeah, instead of going for the fight immediately, I think he tried to double back and starve him with the rocket launcher ammo. And if he comes down there, at least he's going to get a little bit of rocket poke anyway. And of course, it did the deal, forcing the Nyx away from k1llsen. This is still Dahang's round for sure. Nyx is one of those champions that 100% can make comebacks in the hands of a good player.
Definitely. But the Doomslayer, as we've said many, many times, is just a considerable threat, even against Nyx.
Yeah, I think understands that k1llsen needs to be a bit patient going through that doorway. Of course, he doesn't have a railgun. So, he has to pick his spots intelligently, because if he gets hit by a rail, he's not really going to be able to answer back the damage at the ranges he's currently sitting at.
No, and the best players will make your life a living hell getting either the rail or the rocket launcher, and generally will be able to punish you for that. So Dahang's gonna make it difficult for k1llsen to actually get on this rail.
Yeah, Dahang's gonna see the rocket taken too. Now, of course, it wasn't in play, so there's only one reason it's not on the map at the moment.
But k1llsen's quite happy to play the back rooms, sticking with that nail gun room, playing the teleporter. It looks like he just got the rail as well, which means he can now show himself in these longer range fights.
I feel like in very sort of classic Nyx and Doomslayer fashion, k1llsen's landing some really important rails and keeping Dahang in a position where you can't really take a fight. However, as the clock goes down, you're forced in a situation where, well, we have to take the fight sooner or later, regardless of stack. We have to try and make something happen. And then that's when Doomslayer, that's where he starts to thrive.
Yeah, Dahang, knowing the timing's playing nice and safe, is spamming through the corridor, realizing that would have been the time when k1llsen would have come through. But as you say, with k1llsen hitting some good shots, it forces Dahang onto the back foot. Oof.
Hello.
Is he going to go for the frag? Nearly gets it.
He did get the gauntlet, though, so that's going to be respectable damage regardless.
But the problem is now, k1llsen's going to get to the point where he's going to be able to turtle because it's just over a minute and a half and he's not going to take any necessary risks.
Yeah, Dahang's going for a little bit more spam down those corridors with that super nail gun. I mean, if you get caught in a stream, it can hurt quite a lot, but to be honest, with the stack k1llsen's looking at and maintaining as well, I'm not so sure. We have a minute and 15 left. That's not a lot of time for Dahang to make something happen. In fact, he's got to get one more champion just to even the odds. Does beat him to the Mega at least. Dahang tries to head him off. Massive damage done, and Dahang finds a way.
Americans are happy at that
Was
one.
Machiavelli clapping in the background for anyone that might have heard that? I don't know if you did.
He's continually happy.
Of course, it's the happiest man on the planet.
Extra happy when Americans are actually doing something.
Oh, spicy. However, you know, k1llsen on... You know, we really haven't seen much of k1llsen's Anarchy today.
No, we haven't. It's not his favorite champion, but he can play it particularly well. But I mean, he's got a mighty hard time for him now. It's just buying time to try and get back in this game, pick up some items, make sure he gets all the weapons. He's struggled with Dahang's Nyx in this round.
And on Bloodrun in particular, she has got a couple of, you know, like almost like edges where going for certain items, she's not as at much of a risk. Particularly things like heavy armor where she's able to pop her invisibility and try and swoop in there undetected. Or obviously take the heavy armor and then disappear afterwards.
No, and we've gone back to a very similar way we're playing on Blood Covenant. Extremely calculated, as I say that. We got k1llsen picking up the ball. What a rocket!
But he had no ammo for the rail. He lined the shot up, but there was just no payout. And he's out of rockets as well. Dahang, he's running out of all of the crucial ammunition, forced to waste a little bit of time to get the rocket. And that's given k1llsen time to make a sequence around the map. Both players highly weak right now.
I don't think that k1llsen knows just how weak Dahang is, though. Even still, he has nothing to commit for himself either, as he bounces in.
What?
Somehow getting the frag.
And he just comes flying through the doorway. I mean, that is a sigh of relief. That is a complete sign of relief from k1llsen. And of course, that was down to the wire. You know, when Anarchy comes flying around those corners, in many ways, he is just as vulnerable to those up-close rockets as you are.
And the clutch is back on the board.
And this is where things change. Actually, that was an impressive rail from k1llsen. I know Clutch is quite chunky, but that was quite a fast little turnaround flying towards the heavy, and k1llsen was still ready to line it up, of course. Nice, good shot again. And this is further exposing a little bit of the weakness of Clutch on this map because of that railgun in the hands of k1llsen. This was discussed even before we got into this match was, yes, Clutch is dangerous. Dahang has one of the best in the business, but k1llsen and a rail, I mean, do we see him missing this champion?
Not all too much.
Of course,
you still
not to jinx it, of course. Like that.
Oh, whoa, that was very close.
Forced to retreat. Unfortunately, misses a second, but not the third. And tries to rocket jump, but bumps into the ceiling. That is very unfortunate.
I think even the rail might have just made sure he did not get up. Dahang obviously recognizing the situation that Nyx was without that ghost walk. Fortunate for k1llsen.
He's going to have it back now. And on the contrary, actually, normally we would see the shield over the invisibility being ready. Now it's Dahang that has no shield. As long as k1llsen starts to poke him down a little bit, I wonder if he'll take a fight. Yeah, not interested at all. Let's maintain control instead.
He's doing the right thing, obviously, keeping his range, making sure he's chipping away at the clutch ever so slightly. Great rocket coming out from k1llsen. But you can see the overbearing stack that Clutch has, even though he hits a rail, 2 rails and a direct. k1llsen, Dahang still more than healthy, and his shield's got up as well.
It's a tiny bit of damage, but there's the answer. The reverse catches him reappearing. That's a little bit of uncontested damage, and there it goes! Another one of the famous Dahang rails. I mean, we talked for days about k1llsen and his rail, but Dahang has great accuracy as well, and a double combo. 2 champions back-to-back rewarded by the Mega. And this is all Dahang for this round.
Incredible aim coming out from Dahang this time as k1llsen decided to stick around in the nailgun room when he might have tried to escape, thinking that was his one opportunity, but it was a risk too far.
I like the way k1llsen was playing the start of this round. And of course there was the deliberate, I'm not going to pick up the super shotgun yet because I don't want to make any sound, but wow, he goes in guns blazing with the nail gun.
Ooh.
There's that lifeline.
Spicy.
Just a pincushion, right? Almost every nail connected.
That is the perfect analogy. Look at the speed coming out. That's a sacrifice move if I ever saw it, but somehow k1llsen doesn't take any damage and flicks the switch for the punch.
And a fantastic spawn too. The Ghost Walk has been activated, but Dahang, he can't fight. He has nowhere near enough health to be confident in this exchange. k1llsen with 5 rails. He just needs 1 tries, but unfortunately doesn't hit his mark. Does that time, though, Dahang in big trouble.
He knows he's severely weak.
One more super shotgun blast is going to do it. k1llsen would have done the maths.
Still 10 seconds on the Ghost Walk if he can find him, but he's going to get across to some health bubbles, which means he stacks up a little bit, but it can still be railed.
But he had to give up that item. He had to give up that Mega. There was no way he could safely fight for that with the stack he had.
Oh, absolutely. And once again, the Ghost Walk has popped up, but we've seen Dahang do this before, and he does it again!
Wow, out of nowhere. A bad situation was instantly flipped on its head by a confident and a well-placed telefrag. I mean, Nyx's telefrag as well. Not the easiest thing to land on top of a couple of these impressive rails. That was one of Dahang's greatest rounds, for sure. It had to be.
Apart from the brain aneurysm with Slash, everything else was pretty much spot on.
We'll just forget about that. That never happened. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think it was still a good move as well, using the speed and the plasma trail down in that corridor. it just looked silly.
I mean, I guess the intention was there. It was the big, bold play, but it's funny, really, from one big, bold play into another. Not afraid to make those decisions in this level of play. I mean, those kind of split-second decisions, this is the elimination map. It's the final map between these guys, but this, of course, being match point for Dahang. And if he moves on, he's going to be feeling good about some of these insane plays he's been able to execute against k1llsen, one of the greatest players in the world.
And if there is a big game player out there, I would have to say it is Dahang. Always turns up the heat when he needs to, always gets to the latter stages of tournaments when many, many people underestimate him. Could be taking out one of the favorites here.
I mean, yeah, k1llsen by far one of the favorites. He's had so much success in recent Quake Champions events. I mean, of course, not even to say Dahang hasn't. These are two fantastic players, but I'll be very worried about how Dahang and this clutch is performing. k1llsen, he's tried to have answers. He's trying to maintain a level of control on the map. That if he's able to force the shield and he can't take the fight, it's going to be very risky for Clutch to try and fight for either of these items with no shield available. So it almost allows k1llsen to get some of that automatic control because Clutch can't really take that risk.
No, not at all. And now k1llsen is imposing himself on the map. In previous rounds, it looked like k1llsen was just playing a little bit passive, wary of that Clutch, but maintaining these stronger positions in the mid-ground, making sure that Clutch cannot push out. But Dahang's happy with that. We've seen that before. Nice rocket coming out, and he's going to push through here.
A very, almost like a deliberately delayed rocket too. You know, the second the nails stopped coming through, Dahang almost like he had, maybe it's a bit safer to push on here, but k1llsen still lying in wait. I respect Dahang not really allowing k1llsen to take things for free though. I mean, he has to fight for them. He can't just allow k1llsen to run around and maintain control.
No, but it's not the end of the world because of the fact that this stack that he can get alone is just ginormous without even picking up any major items. So why risk yourself when both major items are in precarious situations?
That's always going to be the advantage these big champions have. You know, Sorlag and Clutch, they'll have over these smaller ones is they don't really, there's no rush. You know, there's no urgency to collect them.
Ooh, that was close.
Nice activation on the shield. Wow, k1llsen sent up high, but a very clutch wall jump, I have to say.
It was, yeah, I like the pun as well. It was a perfectly timed wall jump indeed. That where was mightily close.
That might have saved his skin in this map going into, I mean, like, at the end of the day, this is another one of those slower rounds for good reason.
Last round for k1llsen could be the winning round for Dahang. There's no reason why you'd want to take any risks right now.
Definitely, you know, one risk too many, but the emerge, k1llsen, the surprise through the teleporter and dealing with the clutch, but that's just one of his master champions. You now have to deal with Dahang's Slash. Unfortunately, he wasn't really able to get anything done with Slash in the previous round, but you know, I don't think he's going to make those kind of decisions in this one.
Somehow gets out unscathed from the good rockets from k1llsen, and k1llsen not pushing in. The Ghost Walk is up and it has to be used.
That's it. I mean,
boom!
There we go. Dahang, he had to try and make something happen, but he only had 20 HP left, and k1llsen super healthy to take that fight. This could go in, but the re-emerge into Gauntlet. Somehow k1llsen seemed ready, and he manages to get 3 champions back-to-back. This is going to be a final round. And, well, all the marbles for this one.
Fooled me once, shame on me. That wasn't going to happen again. It was a good try by Dahang that time. Overall, that was well played by k1llsen. As soon as the clutch went down, the round finished extremely quickly, so we can see just how strong the champion is still for Dahang, even on Blood Run.
I mean, Dahang took a rail on the way in. He's still got 145 and 73. It's like he never got railed at all. This early on in the round too, when weapons are going to be quite scarce. But now, of course, Dahang needs to be a little bit concerned. He has to get a little bit more armor. Can't really take too many. But this is going to be a testimony to, you know, I feel like what it's going to come down to here is who loses that star champion first. Now, of course, Dahang, he's super talented with Slash as well, but the clutch has been the star performer. And for k1llsen, it's been Nyx. If they lose their champion now, it could be disastrous.
Definitely, and I think it's obviously going to be just as cagey as it was in the previous round now, as it is game point, match point for both of these players to move into the DreamHack semi-final.
There's so much riding on this win, but that is one chunky rocket. Dahang temporarily forced to go back and not take it yet, but again, we always talk about the stack. Look at the health difference. He's still got way more. Doesn't even matter that he got hit by a direct.
Yeah, he's pretty juicy, and as long as he keeps his starting stack, it's always going to be pretty scary.
I love this hit and run style from k1llsen. You know, it's this idea of let's try and keep Clutch at bay. Let's try and chip him down. When a fight inevitably happens, if he's not got the crazy stack, of course it's going to be a better fight to take. If you can do enough damage and force the shield out early, that's going to be best case scenario.
And this is the situation we saw last round where k1llsen was able to contain Clutch into this little hovel and make sure he cannot get out. And every time he does, k1llsen was doing some level of damage. Once again, hitting a nice rail and a second. Can he follow up? The shield is up, so he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to overcommit with the Ghost Walk either.
And even after those 2 rails, Dahang will be able to comfortably tank 2 more. And yeah, he's being super patient, trying to get a little bit of information. Almost.
Nice rail, moving it from k1llsen, and this time he's forced to do it because he would have survived, but he's sticking around.
This is exactly what k1llsen was looking for. Yes, he's got into the
no!
mega. Oh, that was a close one. But he was able to force the shield, but for that time, he wasn't able to get much. However, not the shortest of cooldowns on the shield wall, so k1llsen's going to have a little bit of time to still get some damage that you can't really answer back to.
They both picked up an equal number of time shots. Still, k1llsen just ahead now, 10-second advantage in that ability, but probably won't have any time to use it.
Yeah, I don't see k1llsen really rushing into anything. He's going to get 1 rail here, but if he decides to push in, and the shield's available, of course, he'll be in a terrible situation.
Dahang's under considerable pressure.
The shield's used. And yeah, of course, activating it just as an insurance policy. Try and control that heavy. And he has been able to do it. An expensive heavy, really, having to use your shield to accomplish it, but I mean, worth it to stay alive. Oh,
k1llsen's just hitting everything at this point. Don't peek over.
But I mean, just insane. Sorry, I had my hand over my mouth right there because it is super close. But I mean, even after all these rails k1llsen is landing, he gets hit by 1. He's still 1 hit from death here.
Yeah.
You know, he is having to dodge for his life.
So
oh my god.
Oh, the robot's getting closer and he's pushing in this time. He could get the kill. Still has the shield up, but k1llsen stays on the high ground.
That's given Dahang the knowledge that k1llsen's going to be up there, though. The teleporter.
Now,
oh, that was so close.
Even without the shield, this is the time Dahang can use to push up the pace.
He's got the stack, he's got the mobility, he's got the speed.
Oh, k1llsen just moving through that teleporter at the right time.
This is scary. I mean, this is so scary for k1llsen. He's 10 seconds away from the invisibility. If he gets caught out now, this could be a dead
rail
Nyx.
hit.
Fantastic shot. He's going to have the Ghost Walk for the next encounter, but Dahang will have his answer as well with that shield wall available.
This is going to go to the absolute wire once again. I think the next, well, at least the next kill's going to probably decide it because no one's going to overcommit at this stage.
I feel like it, and once more, much like Corrupted Keep, what a fitting way this round is likely to end.
Every single one of those rails that k1llsen hits just sets Clutch back from making that move he's so desperate to push in for.
I feel like it's really a tale of Dahang's best versus k1llsen's best here.
I would hope so.
Oh, I guess it has to be at this level.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to spoil the mood. It's so loud, but here we go. 3 health. This could be a dead k1llsen. If Dahang could see the 3, I think he'd already be down here, but he does chase it. 15 seconds. This is definitely going to be a 1 champion victory. Just look at the
Ghost Walk is up there. That is the only lifeline for Nyx at this point in time.
I would not want to get caught in a bad spot right now. It's going to be sudden death, but to be honest, I feel like it's been sudden death for 5 minutes anyway. 1 rail, but he needs at least 3 more.
Yeah, if he hits 1 more rail, k1llsen's going to be in severe trouble. That's so risky, and he gets the rail as well.
That trade through.
But the trade is big.
saves the shield. Doesn't want to use it early. Let's get the Mega without it. Save it for later. But I mean, even if k1llsen's hitting these rails, you've got to be so careful. Fantastic shot. Absolutely fantastic shot. And this is the k1llsen we know. One rocket comes through. That's data. There he is.
I cannot stress enough how crucial every single one of those rails that k1llsen hits is. And it's not easy. Yes, he's hitting a very big target, but he's moving at incredible pace and incredibly stressful conditions.
He's going in. He's piling in. This is all or nothing.
He still didn't pop the goal. He did just the miss. I thought he didn't pop it in time, but he did.
He's going to do what he can to fight k1llsen. k1llsen with no armor currently. He's going to get it soon, but can he beat him to the punch? He gets a couple of nails. k1llsen gets taken out. They trade it back and forth, but it's going to be Dahang that has the last laugh. What a fight. I mean, k1llsen, he's not going to be 100% happy, but that was an insane performance from both of these guys.
That was so back and forth. I don't think I've ever seen a closer duel in this game. The most perfectly even and matchup we've ever seen in this game, and just impeccable play from both players as they went back and forth, traded strategies. The momentum shifted so many times within that duel, and they both kept their composure right to the very end on virtually every single map. That was a great Champions masterclass.
We have to give it up for k1llsen for getting this far, and he literally played with his heart on his sleeve. But I mean, you can't help but be emotional for both of these guys. They've had such an incredible journey in their respective regions, and unfortunately we see k1llsen fall today, but I have no doubt we'll see him in the future. But I mean, come on, Dahang, the man of the hour. That was a ridiculous performance.
Hats off to Dahang. The fact that k1llsen, I think he must have hit almost 100% rail for the last kind of 3 minutes of that duel. And even throughout all the maps where he was picking clutch, the fact that he was on the back foot so many times, and that's not a situation you're used to as a clutch. It's not a situation you're even good at as a clutch. So for Dahang to mold it and make that work when he had nothing